All right, let's get this thing on the road like we always do. Let me just make sure the sound is on point. And I also got to make sure I got the right thumbnail. I might have to do that at the end. Sometimes they screw me with that. Let me see something. Give me a second, guys, to get this situated. Nope, that's not working. Let me switch to this. Where the heck is my... Give me 1 second, guys. It always takes a second to get this shit going. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Alright, so we got that. Let's see if I can't get the thumbnail to be fixed properly. Alright, I'm trying to get my thumbnail fixed. Give me a second, guys. I wonder if I can do it from the studio. I might have to do it afterwards. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it afterwards. Alright, whatever. I'll do it afterwards. It's not a big deal. I'll change the thumbnail afterwards for people to watch it later. For some reason, it wasn't letting me do it. And it's still not letting me do it, so it's something I'll have to deal with afterwards. But anyway, we're talking in NFL today. It's that time of the year again, guys. Back at it again. It's been a long several months. I think the last time we talked about NFL was, what, February? So yeah, it's been almost 5 months. But like always, we're right back where we started. And we're going to be doing this a little bit differently. We're going to be talking about it to gain a bigger audience so then we can really spread the truth to more people rather than us being in an echo chamber. And it's just, the word not really getting out there. It's just the same people hearing it. I love you guys. I appreciate all of you. But the point is we want to wake everyone up and make them realize what the hell is going on. So we're going to have to dumb down a little bit. I know you guys are a smart audience, but it's for more of the other people because you guys already know what it is. We got to get everybody else on board. But as far as predictions go, we'll try to get through this as fast as possible. Normally, I go through every team and go through everyone's schedule and do wins and losses, but that takes way too long. I ain't got that kind of time these days, so we're going to do it a little bit differently. So, right now I got the Bills. We'll do AFC East first. I got the Bills depth chart up right now. And honestly, I think it's just Josh Allen's division. I don't really see too much newness except for Joey Bosa. Obviously, some of their rookies, but I don't even see any of them rookies starting anywhere at all. But they're going to be helping, maybe on the O-line. But other than that, it's going to be guys helping second-string guys and injuries like that. But the Bills, I think the Bills are going to be the best team in that division, in my opinion. Who comes second? That's the question. I think Bills would be number one. And then I think I want to say the Patriots. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to open a few more of these. Maybe we can have 4 at a time. So we can have 4 depth charts at a time so we're not wasting time and we can just flip through all of them. So yeah, we'll do it that way. But as far as the Patriots, I think they're going to probably be that second team. Only because I trust Vrabel. Anywhere Vrabel goes, he wins. And it usually doesn't take him too long. That's the thing about Vrabel. He can turn a program around immediately. This is like a Sean Payton type thing. So, and he's familiar with the AFC. So that's why I think it's not like he's going NFC where it's teams he doesn't play that much. He played a lot of these teams before when he was with Tennessee. So he knows he's only been a year out, and he's watching more film because he had more time to. So he's more familiar than most coaches would be with every team cumulatively. So that's why I would go that way with it. But let's look at New England's, what they got. I know they got their quarterback, right? They got that left tackle, the first pick. And then they ended up getting the D tackle, right? Or no, I'm thinking of the Browns. But either way, the Patriots, they had a really good offseason. They made some moves that would make any team better, if we're being honest. For some reason, my internet's going slower today. Usually, it doesn't do this. Sometimes it does. But here we go. Drake May. Honestly, Travion Henderson's going to be the starting running back eventually. He's just too good. They got Stephon. I really wanted them to get another big-time receiver. Mac Hollins is going to be a good player for them, but they could have gotten someone better than these two guys. Kyle Williams is their rookie, though, so he's going to be good. Demario Douglas is a little guy. They really need one more really good receiver with Stephon. If they can get one more receiver with Stephon and Kyle Williams inside, a scary team. Hunter Henry is a good tight end. And their O-line is just good enough, honestly. They're good enough to get the job done. Their defense has always been what carried them. They're bringing a lot of guys back. They brought some guys in. Harold Landry is going to be a big piece to that defense. I promise you. They picked up Carlton Davis. And Christian Gonzalez is coming back. So I think they're going to be formidable. Will they be the best team? Probably not. But they're going to be slapping people, I think. So I got the Bills winning the division. And it's going to be the Jets or the Patriots number 2. Let me just look at the Jets depth chart real quick. I think we can all agree that Miami's going to take a step back and probably go 4th here. Because they probably will have the 4th best QB in the division, if you think about it. Because Justin Fields, I'd take Justin Fields over Tua Tagovailoa, however you say his name. I would take him over him any day, guys. That's just me. I don't know if you guys would, but I would. That's just me. I would run a better offense with Justin Fields because he's more of an athlete. He can get out of trouble if things break down. Tua's limited. Justin's got a strong arm. They got Breece Hall, Garrett, Josh Reynolds from the Rams. Alan Lazard has a lot of making up to do. Big receivers. This is a big, basketball squad. Mason Taylor's their big tight end that they drafted. He's going to be really good. I hope for their sake. Their O-line is very formidable. Young guys. They're all young. Young rookie right here. 1-year pro. Simpson's very solid. Trippman's solid. And Elijah solid. So their O-line literally is very good, guys. This is a top 10, top 5 O-line, I'm saying. They got their tight ends. Could be a little better at receiver. Running backs down pat. Quarterback they like. So their offense should be better than last year, honestly. Just because of the O-line. Defensively, you got Big Q, right? And then other than that, you got his brother. You got Sauce. They picked up Cisco. And then that's about it, man. So, I mean, their defense, I don't know. We're just going to have to see how they play this year. But I think their offense is going to be just good enough. I think we're just going to have to see how Aaron Glenn coaches. I don't know how he's going to come out coaching. Is he going to run the ball more? Or is he going to be more of an aggressive passing type? You know what I mean? That's my only qualm. I don't know how he's going to look as a coach, how he's going to have his offense and defense play. I need to see that first. I know Vrabel. That's the only reason I'm picking the Patriots first. And guys, this is just a prediction at the beginning. We'll do another prediction halfway through or whatnot, or 4 weeks through after I see these teams play some more, because I got to see them play. This is a whole new year. New coaches, new everything, new quarterbacks. So what I'll say is this. I think the Patriots and Jets are close. I just don't know what the schedules look like. I don't know if the Jets have a harder schedule. You know what I mean? That would make a difference. So that matters. So as far as quarterback, I'd say I'd do even a wash, honestly, because they're both top 2 picks, right? I think Drake May was picked top 5. So was Fields. So I'll give that a wash, honestly. Running back wise, Breece Hall, Travion. You got to give it to Breece because he's done it, but Travion is going to be big time. Garrett Wilson or Stephon, I take Garrett. And then after that, they got the rookie over there, Kyle Williams, right? And then you got Josh and Lazard. I don't know. Kyle has shown some promise. He's a speedy guy. So I kind of would take him over these 2 guys. And then you got the tight ends. I would take Mason Taylor, the rookie, over Hunter, just because Hunter's turning 30-something. And this guy's like 21. So, yeah, you have to. And then O-line-wise, I would take the Jets O-line. Even though, no, they both got rookies at tackle. So, yeah, I would take the Jets O-line over the Pats. Defensively, they're both pretty close, but I would take the Jets just because they got Big Q in the middle. And they have a superstar at each level. They got Big Q, they got Quincy, and then they got Sauce. So I think the Jets are slightly better on paper, but I don't know coach-wise. I know Aaron Glenn is a fabulous defensive coordinator. I just don't know if he's a good head coach. You know what I mean? They're both defensive coaches, so that there's that. And honestly, the Bills coach, he's a defensive coach as well, right? McDermott's a defensive coach. The only offensive coach is the Dolphins, and they're going to have the down year, it looks like. But who knows? That could be flipped on its back. But as far as this goes, I think I'm going to lean more towards the Jets. I don't know, guys. I think it's going to be really close. But I'm going to go Bills. Then I'm going to go Jets, and then I'm going to go Patriots, because I think the Patriots need a couple more pieces. They're going to ride that running back and Stephon Diggs a lot. And I think the rookie could have a big. It really depends on how that rookie receiver plays. If he can really step up, that could change the game for them. But I can't call that out till I see him. And the Jets, yeah. So I'm going to go Bills, Jets, Patriots, and then it leaves us with the Dolphins. We'll take a look at their depth chart. But I know they didn't really do too much, guys, as far as everything goes. They really just haven't. Click back on that just so it's ready to go for the next division. So they got Tua, A-Chain, Tyreek, Waddle. It's the same team. They got Darren Waller, guys. Big time tight end, guys, when he's not injured, because he's injured a lot. He hasn't really been upright the last couple of years. But assuming if he could stay on his feet, this is big time. 6'6" target. Yeah, if they can get some usage out of him, this is a big time play for them, guys. But other than that, Jonah, this is a rookie right here. He's going to hopefully be good for them. But other than that, it's the same old line, which gave him a lot of problems last year. So I don't know if that's a good thing. They're bringing back the defense. Bradley Chubb from that ACL, was it, right? Or was it an Achilles? I forget. Jalen Phillips, Rasul. Yeah, they lost their corner. Minka Fitzpatrick came aboard, but they lost. What's his name? Jalen Ramsey. I don't see how this team can be better. They're gonna be explosive on offense like they've always had, but defensively they're not gonna stop anything. So they're gonna be fourth in my opinion, and Tyreek Hill will be gone. Jalen Waddle will probably be gone as well, and this whole team will be broken up, and you'll see pieces of them all over the NFL. Because you can't give Mike McDaniel another year. If they lose again, Mike McDaniel has to go, and they're gonna all leave after. It was a marriage when they all came in together. You know what I mean? And it's a marriage that hasn't worked out. They haven't gotten tougher as a team. You know, they just feel stagnant. They just feel like the same old Miami team, you know? So now we'll go next division. The Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, right? Cleveland Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not going to go through every roster because I just feel like that's excessive. We'll look at a couple of them. I think we can all agree that the Baltimore Ravens will probably win this division. Right? I think we can agree on that. So I'm going to actually... let me just take a look at this real quick. Baltimore... Why is it taking so long to load? I should have restarted my computer because yesterday it was going like this. All right, so here we go. What the hell? Why is it going? Did I not click on depth chart? This is annoying the F out of me. Why is it going to stats and scores? Like, no. Depth chart. Stupid. Alright. So the Ravens went 3-0 in the preseason, I guess. Not that that matters, but that's, I guess, something. Alright, so here we go. Lamar, Derek, Zay, Bateman. They got Hopkins, Andrews. It's looking like Baltimore, they need to make some noise this year. Like, it's like, if they don't win a Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl this year, it's like, when will they ever? Like, I feel like this has to be the year. Like, when else will Baltimore win the Super Bowl if it's not this year? It feels like everything is in place. They got everything they need. They got all the guys they need. They got corners out the wazoo now. Malachi Starks, Kyle Williams or Hamilton, Jair Alexander, Marlon Humphrey. Like, this defense is literally just stacked. Like, the team is stacked everywhere. Their receivers, they got guys all over the place. Speed, all over the place. They got two good tight ends. They need to make noise, guys. This is the year. They got Derrick Henry. Like Lamar, you gotta just get it done this year. But I think Baltimore wins the division. Second place, let's look at this Pittsburgh team. I haven't really looked at them. Aaron, Warren, DK. Calvin Austin's a tiny guy, I know that. Roman Wilson's a good player, if he can stay healthy. Speedy guy. They got Scotty Miller. I don't know. Not really impressive. It would have been more impressive if they had DK and that other guy, Pickens. That would have been impressive. Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith. Good tight ends. O-line, same O-line as last year. Cameron Hayward. The old man's trying to win a championship, so we'll see how that goes. TJ came back. Highsmith is a beast. So they got Darius Slay. And you know he's playing to win a championship. He's not playing just to play. And they got Jalen Ramsey. Bro, they got Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay over here, guys. If only they could have kept Minkah Fitzpatrick over there, they would have had that would have been a defensive backfield to worry about. But yeah, this team actually looks pretty decent. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make these speedy receivers look really good. I think we might get a couple more years out of Aaron Rodgers. I think he might look so good this year that he's going to just play another couple years. Like, he's just going to look too good that he can't retire. You know what I mean? And we've heard nothing bad coming out of there, so that means it's going good. You know what I mean? It's going to look really good. It's going to look better here than it did with the Jets. Because there's just something off in New York, guys. I don't know what it is. At least the last few years, there has been something off. I don't even care. I don't think it mattered. It could have been Tom Brady quarterbacking that Jets team. They would have still stunk. I could promise you that. It's just something about that team. And I think he's going to prove that with the Steelers. The Steelers is more constructed like the Packers would have been. So I think that fares well or more better for him. Let's see. So then I would go Ravens. My second choice after the Ravens would be the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to have a good year, really good year, because they haven't had a couple good years in a while. It's been a couple not so good seasons, 2 seasons to forget. So I think the Ravens will be the number one. Then it will be the Bengals. Then the Steelers, and then the Browns are going to suck. And also with Shedeur Sanders, I think they're just going to trade him. They'd be better off to trade him. And his career is looking a lot like Tom Brady's. A little bit different, yes, like obviously. But like I think the whole premise is rich daddy, got drafted late, did really well in college, right? But didn't get drafted high, had to sit out a year, but then came out and took the league by storm. I think that's the same playbook they're going to play with Shedeur. And they might trade him. I don't know if he'll be... I don't think he's going to even be a Cleveland Brown because they have 2 first-round picks. They have him as like a 3rd, 4th string quarterback now, so they clearly don't have him in the plans. They're going to use one of those other picks for another quarterback, and I guarantee you it's not gonna be in their favor. No, the Browns never do anything right. They're gonna botch this, like they botch everything. And it's so funny though. Archie Manning didn't even declare to come out, so they did all this, and they're not even gonna get Arch in the end. So this is such a Browns thing to do. They're gonna botch this, and they still have Deshaun Watson to worry about. So it's just too much of a mess. There's too many distractions, too many question marks. And it would be better if Shedeur, for him to just get out of there. It would behoove him to get out of Cleveland, guys. Anywhere. I would even say Seattle. Not even Seattle. What I meant was the Raiders with Pete Carroll. Let him sit behind Geno. And when Geno looks like shit or ages out, now you got Shedeur ready to go. And on top of that, Tom Brady's there. And I know he worked out with Tom Brady a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with the Raiders, guys. And then the Raiders just say, you know what, let's just give the keys to Shedeur. You know? And another team, let's see how the Saints look. What if the Saints just look so out of sorts, like so bad? 2 things they can do. They can ride that out and just be the worst team so they get the number 1 pick. Or they can make a deal with the Browns. Hey, give us your 4th-string quarterback. We'll give you a 5th-round pick. We'll give you your 5th-round pick back that you spent on him, right? Maybe you can even get a 6th-round pick for him. Who knows? Who cares? The point I'm trying to make is I think Shedeur is just a piece that they're going to use to trade. Unless the owner, Jim Haslam, steps in and says, nope, I want you to play the kid. You know what I mean? Because Jimmy Haslam supposedly was the reason why they drafted him. They said Jimmy Haslam forced that trade, or that pick, I should say. But either way, I think that's the way that'll go. Next, we got Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Tennessee. The Colts, they're probably going to get rid of Anthony Richardson, but they also got Riley Leonard. I think Riley Leonard is going to be like Josh Allen. They just don't know it yet. They don't know what they have in that kid yet. But mark my words, whenever Riley Leonard gets into a football game and gets to showcase what he can do, he's going to look so good out there. And I don't understand how this guy wasn't more highly scouted. Because to me, he looks so good. He looks like Josh Allen when he plays and when he runs. Like, just the way he operates, you know what I mean? So I think we might end up seeing a Riley Leonard sighting because Daniel Jones is going to look like shit. So we might see Riley unless they keep Anthony Richardson. I don't know what they plan on doing. Now I'm actually curious to see what they're doing with their QB situation because Riley Leonard, guys, he is a very good quarterback. Anyone that watched him play at Notre Dame, this brother can play, man. Yeah, they got him at third string. So it really depends what they do with Anthony. I think Riley is better than Anthony Richardson. But the problem is, you know what the real problem is? They picked Anthony Richardson as a top 5 pick. So they have to, put him first. And then Daniel Jones, they paid him. And he's also a top 5 pick. Riley was picked late in the draft, so they're going to treat him as such. So he doesn't get the same opportunities. It's bullshit, in my opinion. And he should have. He made it to the national championship game, right? So it's like, damn. The brother doesn't even get a fair shot. And you look at their team, there's just, I don't know. It just feels like they don't have direction. Daniel Jones is your quarterback. That just doesn't scream like you're gonna be good. It doesn't scream like you guys have it together. If they put Riley Leonard in there, if they're telling us we're gonna start the rookie, now I'm thinking to myself, okay, you got a young guy, you're gonna grow with him. All right, I could see what you're doing here. But Daniel Jones, it just feels like this franchise is going backwards. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you're moving forward with a move like that, in my opinion. How can you say to the franchise, we're looking to win a Super Bowl, but Daniel Jones is our quarterback? The Giants just released him on a huge contract. They didn't even want to try to make it work. They said, no, get out of here. Drafted a rookie and got Russell Wilson. So with that, I'm trying to think, guys, because I think Jacksonville is going to be a little bit better as well. I think Houston got a little bit worse, guys. In my opinion, I think Houston got worse. Let's take a look at Jacksonville real quick. This division is going to be the toughest division to call out, and it always is. This is always the hardest division to predict because it's the closest and the shittiest division. It's always chaos. So Trevor Lawrence needs to have a good year, or he's pretty much done for. Maybe Shedeur ends up here. Let's just say Trevor Lawrence has a year to forget again. That would be 3 bad years in a row, guys. Don't be surprised if Shedeur has an opportunity here as well with his old teammate, Travis Hunter, right? Don't be surprised. Because Trevor Lawrence does not have a long leash right now. Just know that. He has very little room for error. They got Brian Thomas with Travis Hunter together. That in itself is amazing. Then they got De'Ami Brown. They got Strange from last year. Or actually a couple of seasons ago, right? O-line is meh. Their defense, a little bit better. They got the 49er there. And that's about it. And then they got a Cowboy right here. Other than that, it's a meh team. The firepower is at wide receiver. So they're going to use Travis Hunter at wide receiver and not at defensive back. Or maybe they'll use him at defensive back sometimes. I don't know what they plan on doing with him, but it looks like wide receiver. That's better for him. Now he gets wide receiver money. CJ, Nick Chubb. Oh, yeah, they got Nick Chubb. So we're going to have to see how Nick Chubb looks. So I don't know how he's going to look, guys. If Nick Chubb doesn't look the same, I don't know. But if he does look the same, guys, this is big time for this team. They got Nico, Jaden Higgins, and Nico Collins, 2 6'4" monsters going at it. And then they got Jalen Noel. He's a speed demon. This is a good team, guys. That's going to be their future. Nico, Higgins, and Noel, that's their future. Christian Kirk is already like 30-something, I think. So he's just a fill-in. Never been a huge Christian Kirk fan. Schultz is decent. But yeah, their O-line is pretty terrible, guys. And I don't know that they're going to be able to keep CJ upright with his O-line. I'm just being honest. Defensively, basically the same team. Yeah, it's basically the same team, and they got C.J. Gardner-Johnson though, so that does help. But it's the same team, guys. So with that being said, with the toughest division to call, I'm gonna go. I think Jacksonville turns it around this year. I'm gonna go Jacksonville #1, Texans 2, Colts 3, Tennessee 4. I don't think Tennessee's anywhere near close. All right, now this is probably the best division in the league. So #1, I gotta take a look at some of this because I haven't really looked at these teams' rosters that much. I gotta see what they're working with because I know Denver made some moves. I know all those teams did because they have to, because their division is so good that they have to constantly be making moves. But for some reason, this takes 10 years to load. Alright, so now we know Bo Nix, Mims. This is basically the same team. Evan Ingram, that's a good pickup. Let's see. I'm not really that impressed with this team. It's just Sean Payton. It's really what it is. It's Sean Payton's greatness. Because this lineup, if you look at up and down it, there's nothing really that impressive about it. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, what? Look at the moves they've made. I can't believe it. They're geniuses. No, it's not like that at all. Like, not even slightly. Alright, Kansas City. Let's take a look. Still loading. Raiders. And then Chargers. While that loads, then we'll go look over there. And then the NFC, we won't look at all the depth charts because the NFC is just way different. The AFC is about quarterbacks. The NFC is about the full team. So we know Pat, Pacheco, Worthy, Brown, Schuster. They drafted Jalen Royals. I'm kind of, Rashee Rice is suspended for like 6 games, so that actually is going to hurt them a lot. That's a #1 wideout gone. And I think they're stupid. I think they should have picked up Isaiah Bond from waivers. For some reason, they just didn't do that. And then they should have, and they have an extra spot right here for him. They could have just grabbed him. Now you have just 2 guys from Texas that can flat out fly. And you can bet they're going to look for it and to replace Kelsey, and then be a good one, I promise you. Kelsey's gone, they're going to have someone in the draft. They'll get another receiver, too. That's just how they do it. They get a receiver in the draft. They always look for one. So I thought they would go there, but I was wrong. They should have, in my opinion, but they didn't. Their O-line looks much improved, though. Their combinations look way better if they can stay healthy. Who knows? But yeah, this is a championship team, man. It's still the same team with a few additions, a few rookies to help the holes that they need filled, mainly O-line. Like, it's O-line. Like, assuming they got their O-line fixed, and maybe Kelsey was playing hurt last year, and that's why he didn't look like himself. Assuming those 2 things are fixed, this team already is a championship team, just with that alone, guys. So I'm giving Chiefs the #1 spot until someone can knock that off. They got that spot, guys. Second spot is going to go to, let's see this team real quick. Oh, they got Amari Cooper here. This team's going to be interesting. They got Amari Cooper, Gianti, and you know Gino is going to be targeting Amari a lot. And they got Brock Bowers. So Geno Smith is going to give Brock Bowers and Amari Cooper a lot of target. This is actually not a bad team, guys. The Raiders are going to be formidable. They actually picked up Kenny Pickett from the Browns, so there's that. They stole Kenny Pickett from the Browns. So yeah, the Raiders are not going to be terrible, guys. You can't count them out. They're not going to be as bad as they were last year. Just based on Amari Cooper and Gianti and Geno Smith. Those are 3 starters and 3 players they didn't have last year that already just turned them around immensely. Let's see. Their O-line. Yeah, their O-line could definitely do some work. But they still got Crosby, though. And that's about it. They picked up Jermaine Pratt. They're gonna be good, guys. This is a what's his name? A Pete Carroll team. So Pete Carroll gets his guys to play hard, guys. They're gonna play right. Devin White's a fast linebacker. They got Jeremy Chin, Polamalu, Eric Stokes. Yeah, they're gonna be very formidable. This team. They're not gonna suck. I don't care what anyone says. This Raiders team is not going to suck. They're going to win at least. Well, it depends on your definition of sucking. They're going to win more games than they did last year. That's what I'll say. Because this is a tough division. They could end up winning 7 games, right? And to one person, that might be a shitty situation. But if you look at their games and they lose a lot of those games in close games, it's just like, no, they're not shitty. It's just they played teams that are just better than them. So just things you got to look at. Mario Hampton's going to have a really good year, guys. Look for him to have 1,000-yard rushing season, all that. McConkey. They brought Keenan Allen back. That's going to help a lot. This guy right here, Keandre Lambert-Smith. Look for him to have a good year. And Trey Harris. These 2 are going to have a really good year. If they can get on the field and stay healthy. Wait, it's Trey Harris. Is this the rookie I'm thinking of? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I got to check. Because if this is Trey Harris, that would be pretty awesome for them. That they got 2 rookies. 2 rookie receivers in the same draft. If this is the Trey Harris that I'm thinking of from Ole Miss, they got themselves a 6'3" animal. I can't remember every draft pick. 6, yep, it's him. Yeah, guys, it's the Ole Miss 6'3" animal they got. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize they drafted 2 rookie wideouts, and they got one in last year's draft. Then they brought Keenan Allen, not for playmaking, but to teach these guys how to run routes. You see how Jim Harbaugh did that? He brought Keenan Allen over here to teach these young receivers how to run routes properly. That's the only reason he brought him. But he's going to make plays. But that was the main reason. You see what veteran coaches do? They know what they're doing. Keenan Allen's known for crisp routes. He's going to teach all these guys how to run those routes. Look for this receiving core to be immensely better just because of that aspect. This team's going to be good, guys. And the rookies especially. But really what I'm trying to say here, guys, look for this team 2-3 years down the road. Once Ladd McConkey, Trey, and Keandre, once these 3 develop, wait 2-3 years from now. This Chargers team is going to be so freaking explosive, guys. Mark my words. They're going to develop this year and maybe even explode next year. But within next year and the year after, this team is going to be insane. So I think the Chiefs might have one more run, and then after that, you're going to start seeing a team like the Chargers emerge. Really, you're gonna see leaps and bounds this year, but those guys need time to grow and get better, and then they get another draft under their belt or 2. It's just, yeah, this team's gonna be really good. All right, so I think what we'll be seeing from this division We're going to see the Chiefs number 1. Of course, this is my humble opinion. I think the Chiefs will be the first best team. Then this year will be the Chargers. Then the Raiders, and then the Broncos. I think the Broncos will be the 4th best team. No one's going to see that coming. Everyone's thinking the Raiders will be the worst, but I just looked at their offense. This is an offensive league. They got some exciting players. More exciting than the Broncos, I'd say. So, and they also have an impact player, the Raiders, on defense, and the Broncos do not. I mean, they have that cornerback. I'll take that back. Their cornerback, whatever his name is, he is an impact player. But I'd rather have an impact defensive lineman like him, like what's his name, Crosby, than I would a cornerback. That's just me. Because a defensive lineman like him can wreck an entire game. A defensive back, you need some help from the D-line to be a good defensive back. Let's just say your D-line can't get any pressure, and the quarterback has all the time in the world to throw a pass. I don't care how good of a defensive back you are. If you can't get any pressure on the quarterback and he hits a clean pocket, you're going to get screwed. You can be Deion Sanders. Ask Deion Sanders, he'll tell you the same thing. You need a good D-line in order to flourish. All right, let's get through the NFC. Let's do this quicker than we did the AFC. So we got Dallas, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. I think the Eagles will win the division. I got the Commanders in second. Then I got the Giants. And then I got the Cowboys in 4 because I think there's just so much going on with the Cowboys, so many distractions. Even though they got Pickett and a few things going their way, this Micah Parsons situation, we have no idea what that's doing. If they end up not signing him, let's say Micah doesn't end up playing, you know how bad their defense is going to be? They were bad with him. You know what I mean? They were a bad defense with Micah. Without Micah, you're a joke. So I can't go with that. The Giants have so many pass rushers. They got so much speed at wideout. Yeah, the Giants are going to be much better this year. I think Russell Wilson's going to make that team look way better than, what's his name did, Daniel Jones. And even that rookie they got will make it look better. But the problem is the Eagles and the Commanders are just a level above them. These two teams, and the thing is, the Eagles are above the Commanders. Like, the Eagles are stacked, like, everywhere. They're just stacking right now. They're stacking their deck. The Washington Commanders are building their team to beat the Eagles. They're just not there yet until they can actually get over the hump, which could happen this year. Because Washington, they got Debo, right? They made some moves. They got some rookies on board. They signed McLaurin, right? So, we'll see. We'll see. So that's how I'll keep that one. Next, we got the Bears, Lions, Packers, and the Vikings. The first place team, I think, will be the Packers this year. I think Detroit's going to take a back seat. They lost those coordinators and some players. So I got Packers first. Then I got the Lions second. And then we got the 2 young quarterbacks. So I'll get the Bears third and then the Vikings fourth. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I know he's got J.J. over there. He's got, what's his name, right? Justin Jefferson. I know that, but that's all he's really got to rely on. You know what I mean? And is he better than Sam Darnold? Are we sure that he's better than Sam Darnold? Like, would we bet our last dollar on that? Or did they just go with him because he was their first overall pick for their draft that year and Sam Darnold's older? You got to ask yourself these questions. Because Seattle paid a lot of money to let Sam Darnold play quarterback for them. Why would Minnesota let him go? Unless they thought that J.J. McCarthy is better. So, I mean, I don't know. We haven't been hearing anything out of there, like saying, no high praises, guys. There haven't been any high praises coming out of there. Just like with the Bears, we've been hearing nothing good out of there. So I don't think those two quarterbacks are playing well right now, and they're just being hidden right now. But in about a week from now, you're not going to be able to hide. We're all going to see you, and I'm going to critique you. We're going to break down the shit out of these games. All right, next, two more divisions, guys. We're almost done. Next, we got Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks. I think Michael Penix is going to have a great year. The problem is, I think the Bucks are going to have a little bit better year. They got Squirrel, that little Squirrel. What's his last name? I forget. But they got Squirrely from Tennessee, that wide receiver. He's pretty quick out there. He's a big addition to what they already got. People are going to know his name, Squirrely, and I'm going to know his name too. So, Squirrel White, that's his name. Squirrel White. He's going to have a really big year on the slot for them. He's so quick in the slot. It's going to be beautiful if they use him properly. And Baker Mayfield just has a really great touch for the game. He's a good quarterback. You can't take that away from Baker. Baker, he's ready to fire and throws at any moment. Like, when you play Baker, you have to have your A game. You have to be ready to play or he's going to gash you. And I think Baker is going to gash this entire division. But against the Falcons, they will play each other tough, I think. I think Penix is going to look really good out there, in my opinion. But we'll have to see. But I pick Buccaneers 1, Falcons 2, Panthers 3, Saints 4. Saints are going to be up for that number 1 pick. Saints and the Browns are going to be up there for that number 1 pick. The Titans as well. And who else will be the top 4 worst team? Actually, those are the only 3 teams I can see right now. Everyone else has a chance to win games. The Cowboys have a chance to be shitty. I guess the Giants do. So do the Bears, the Vikings. Who else can be shitty? The Colts could be shitty, right? Jacksonville could suck again. Carolina could suck again, right? I mean, I guess Atlanta could end up sucking. Arizona, we haven't done this division yet, but I don't see the Raiders sucking. I could see the Broncos sucking because they don't have that much. It just feels like, they're just being coached into wins. That's what it feels like because they don't have anyone that's great like that except for their cornerback. I'll give you that. Their cornerback is great. But other than that, no. Bo Nix isn't great. He's an okay player, He's Andy Dalton with good hair. That's it. Now with the last division, and we'll get this going after this, we got Arizona, we got the Rams, we got the Niners, and the Seahawks. I think the Rams... A caveat, though. If Matthew Stafford is healthy, the Rams will win this division. If Matthew Stafford, if his back problems will keep him out, then the Rams are going to probably be playing for a top 5 pick. So it really depends on Matthew Stafford, guys. So I guess that would be the last team that would suck, the Rams. Because if Matthew Stafford, let me actually look that up. Matthew Stafford's injury status. He's expected to play in week 1. He aggravated his disc in his back, it says. So those are you just never know with those. Those are tricky. With backs, you just never know with a back, guys. So, I mean, if they're saying he's healthy, I got the Rams at number 1. I don't know if I trust San Francisco. I don't trust Brock Purdy. I really don't trust him, but guess what? His running back's coming back. All those guys that got hurt are coming back. So I got Rams number 1, Frisco number 2, And I think Arizona will get the third spot, and Seattle will get the fourth spot. Because Seattle, they're still learning, and they're going to find out that Sam Darnold isn't the guy. And then they got that rookie sitting behind them, Milroe, who's an athlete. He's not really a thrower. So I just don't really see the Seahawks as a championship team, nor do I see the Cardinals as one. But I think those two are they're a toss-up. You know, you got Kyler Murray trying to make everything happen on his own, or you got little old Sam Darnold trying to dink and dunk his way up the field. So it's just like we just got to see. So not really too many new playoff teams this year. And this year we're going to see a lot of the same teams. But then we're going to see next year some changes, though. There's going to be probably 5-6 new quarterback changes next year. That's what I'm looking at right here. Because everyone's not going to keep their job again, guys. It's not going to happen again. There's like at least 6 to 10 quarterbacks that have something to prove this year. So I think we're going to see a lot of good football because guys have to play their best. We're either going to see great football or guys just faltering under the pressure. That's what we're going to see, guys. And nothing else. Other than that, we're going to have the first NFL game will be next Thursday, actually. A week from today will be the first game. So we will be doing picks on Monday. Mondays at some point, or maybe Sunday night, we're going to do picks for the week. We'll do